When ISIS declared its caliphate across Iraq and Syria in 2014, it waged a trail of terror and destruction that nearly toppled governments, but those ambitious plans have since collapsed. The terror group's plan to establish its own state has since been destroyed by a coalition of Western and Arab nations led by the US. And while ISIS continues to lose territory in the Middle East, it is in the West where it hopes to expand, strike, and rebuild, namely in Europe. It is estimated that about 5,000 Europeans have gone to fight in Syria for ISIS. 30% of those foreign fighters have returned home, equipped with combat skills and an extremist ideology that will make them ready to carry out attacks.
ISIS has lost 98% of the territory that it once held in Syria and Iraq. Now that doesn't mean that the war is over. It simply means that the fight against ISIS is now going to move into a different stage because ISIS has proven itself to be a determined enemy that's capable of adapting and is adapting.
Nathan Sells, the top coordinator for counterterrorism at the State Department, has been involved in securing America's borders since 2000. He notably worked on drafting the Patriot Act created after 9/11, giving the government greater authority in tracking communication to counter national security threats.
Today we're in a position where we're able to screen travelers before they even set foot on a plane, when they buy their tickets. We're able to collect information that enables us to ping those travelers against our watch list of known and suspected terrorists.
In 2016, in the wake of terror attacks in Brussels and Paris, Sells led the Department of Homeland Security's efforts to tighten the rules of the visa waiver program, a process that allows foreign citizens from certain countries to visit the United States visa-free.
With visa waiver countries, we've entered into a number of agreements to share information about, for instance, known and suspected terrorists, about criminals who've committed serious crimes in the past.
Dozens of governments grapple with threats that stem from online radicalization and foreign fighters who return home.
So European countries are now using airline reservation data to screen inbound passengers. They're now developing an entry-exit system so that European countries are able to more effectively track who's coming in and who's going out.
As for protecting the U.S. from potential terror threats, Sells says,
as we go forward, it will be important for us to supplement the military efforts that we've used to degrade the so-called caliphate with civilian sector tools, things like border security, things like designations to cut off the flow of money to organizations that seek to do us harm, things like prosecutions and investigations of suspected terrorists.
Munir Al-Hamoud, I24 News, Washington.